Deer-proof fence, not resistant, deer-proof.
All right, welcome back to the channel. What I'm going to show you today is a deer-proof fence. People say it all the time, it's deer-proof. Well, you can spell this one with a capital P-R-O-O-F. It is deer-proof. I've had it up for 7 months and not a single deer has come through, and we have a deer trail that runs right along the back side of it. So what we're going to talk about today is exactly how I put it together, and I'll show you my methodology and what I came up with. And I got to tell you, when you see what I've got in here, they walk right by this stuff every day. So, I mean, you can see, I'm trying to make this thing look like a hole at Augusta. I've got all these plants back here, all these trees, all sorts of stuff that a deer would love to have, but they just do not come in. Going to the back here, you're probably already starting to see some of the fence, but this entire area that I'm showing you right here that goes right along the fence, they walk right next to this every single night, probably close to 30 of them. And a little bit later, I'll show you what a picture of that looks like when they're in my front yard. So how do you build this fence? Any extension site that you can go to for a college is going to tell you how to do a 3-wire or a 2-wire and a single wire with separation. That is the first part of it, and I think that is very important. So what I've done here is, you can see I've got 3 wires on the inside. I separated it by about 3 feet. Does the height of these wires really matter? They tell you it does. I really honestly, I don't think it does, as long as what you do is make it so that a deer, in order to get through one, has to touch one someplace. So I've made it so the outer one, or excuse me, the inner one that's closest to us goes up to about chest height. And the outer one, they would have to touch their nose on it at least, since that's the way that deer investigate things, in order to come through that one. Now, the next thing I did, and I believe this is probably the thing that did it for me, is, hopefully this will show up in the light, but I've got 550 paracord that is a blue color. And if you go online, you'll find out that what deer see the best is blue. So between these electric wires and this blue wire, the deer get so confused there's not a chance they're going to try to jump it. My upper blue wire is not even quite 8 feet tall, but I mean, there are times when I'm walking out here and I try to walk under one of those, your eyes just have a really difficult time focusing on it. And that is just enough to confuse a deer, because as everybody knows, if you've done your research here, if a deer doesn't know where it's going to land or it doesn't think it can make it, it's not even going to try. I can tell you another thing that I tried here, which I think is also kind of important. While I was waiting to put up the blue wire, I put up several of these pieces of foil with peanut butter. So I did the peanut butter training also, which most of the extension offices will tell you that the peanut butter training is just about as effective as one of these doubled up fences. So I thought, well, if we do all of that together, why wouldn't it even be more effective? I'll try to leave a link to what I use. This is all Gallagher fencing, and it was very easy to put in, just a tamping pole, and then putting it around the wires, or excuse me, putting the wire around the poles was all extremely simple. And again, I did not think it was going to be high enough from what I've seen online. So they also make these, and what these do is they come with a little tool. I'm trying to remember if I might have bought these on Amazon. Come with a little tool, put it on your drill, and you can drill them right into a tree. If you don't have a tree because you've got a field someplace, all you really need to do is buy yourself an 8-foot pole, maybe a 10-foot pole, where you just drive it in. They don't even come up and test this. It's just a matter of, I think their vision is so confused that they don't know what to do. As a matter of fact, if you come down here by my pond, you can see that, I mean, it's extremely low over here. They won't even walk over here, although they come over here all the time to get water out of my pond. They will not come over to this section of fence and jump over. It's just, I think it's too much blue, it's too much white, it's too much depth perception, and they just totally give up. Something else that I have here, which I highly recommend depending on where your fence is a little light that actually indicates when the fence is working. So I can see this from my house at night. I can actually see it during the daytime too, but I have to look a little bit harder. And then going across my pond, I knew the deer weren't going to get out into the water. I did the same 3 lines, And then down below that line is a blue fishing line, and that's mostly designed to keep the geese from wanting to swim under, get their little feet tangled up. Not to mention, they may get a little shock, although they're pretty well insulated. But again, I mean, I'll walk you around the outside of this thing. Not a single deer. When I say proof, I mean proof. I think if you put this blue wire up, I honestly think you're going to solve all your problems. And again, hopefully you can see everything that I've got out here. But I've got this blue wire everywhere. All right, I'm going to pause it here for a minute. I'm going to take you over to another section of fence. All right, you can see this wire right here. This is the main wire that comes all the way from my house. It's several hundred feet away. It's a single strand, and it goes all the way through the woods to another section over here. And when we get over there, I'm going to show you what I've done. The deer were so well trained on that other fence with the peanut butter that inside of this single line, I've seen one deer one time. And he's the only one, and he was actually down over by the outside of my electric fence around my landscaping, and he eventually left. We did have one deer. I ran into this one night. I just had to kind of come back and wind it up. All right, so the other section we're looking at, and again, I hope this shows up well in the camera, but I think you should be able to see these blue lines here. So if not, I'll try to get you real close. It's really hard to tell from my perspective in this camera, but you can see blue line, blue line, blue line, another blue line, another blue line. So I've got 5 strands of blue line that come around this. And again, I've got lots of trees, lots of bushes, lots of shrubs. I ended over there at the pond edge, and then we'll walk on down here. And I mean, you can see I've got hydrangeas in here. I've got some Florida anise, some rose bushes, azaleas. And I know deer love our azaleas on the other side because we do not have them kept out of there. Some nice, that's a Coosa dogwood. Got some other little plants down there, some flowers. So this is where I let myself in if I need to get my lawnmower inside. And then again, I stop it over here up against the water, and then I'll point you over towards the pond edge, and you can see hopefully way over there, probably about 10 feet above the pond, is the electric wire that takes it up to where my box is. And when we get up there, I'll show you the kind of box that I put in. So you can see that is a pretty long run. I mean, you can barely see my lawnmower way over there, but it works like a champ. We got a Sasquatch out here too. I can tell you Sasquatch does nothing to scare the deer, but we love having our friends try to find them from the other side of the pond. All right, we're walking back towards my area with all the shrubs in it now. And again, I hope you can see this, but we're walking up, and it's very difficult for me to even see and get depth perception on these blue lines. Until I probably got about this distance, maybe a little further back, I couldn't really tell if this one was closer or if that one was closer. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And over here, you can see I run one more up there way high, and then the other ones run just like the other side, all the way back over there. We'll go ahead and cross this. Try not to get myself shocked. I can't tell you it does work. So again, here's the fence over on this side. I got the blue line on the outside, top and bottom. And then the other sections, excuse me, that kind of go on top. And don't let it bother you if you don't have trees or something to attach it to. Like I said, I mean, if you could get yourself a pole where you could at least just put this up, they don't even test it. I have not seen one yet try to test this. All right, here's some more. I mean, it's like Mission Impossible out here if you were a deer. They look at this like it's a bunch of lasers, and it's just not worth it. Can't figure it out for the life of them. And this right through here is where our deer come walking every night. I see them sometimes right up against the fence. A lot of times they don't even look. And then they just keep on walking by and kind of head down there. They used to head right across this region right here. But again, I mean, you get up close, I hope you can see that, because it is extremely hard to tell which one, even for a person, which one of these pieces of paracord is closest, whether the white stuff's further away or whether it's near. So if I can confuse a person, you can definitely confuse a deer. All right, we're back over on the other side of the pond now, and what I'm going to do is just show you my electrical box that I put outside. I ran some 220 not too long ago, and while I was doing it, I went ahead and dropped in some 110 at the same time so I could do this at a later date. So at any rate, this is my box. I've got a Gallagher, it's an M560, way more charger than I need for my property, but I wanted more. I built this box so it would be waterproof. I could have it outside. I didn't want to have to go into my shed every time I wanted to turn it off. And that's my shed back there. So it's not a tiny shed, but it's still my shed. Went ahead and wired it into one of those outlet light box switch. They're normally made to have electricity and then turn on a light someplace else. I just jumped it so that when I turned it off and on, it would turn the box off. And yeah, I could have just unplugged it, but you know, that's beside the point. So anyway, everything goes down into the ground. Power's in my shed. There's where the fence begins. And I know some of you were saying, well, if your pond is way the heck over there where you're actually running it, why didn't you just use a solar box? And the answer to that is because my house faces south, and that area we're looking over there is directly due east. It would have been an eyesore where I would have had to place it in order to get sunshine to keep something charged during the winter. So rather than do that, I just bought some extra wire, ran it all the way along and back to here. Obviously this stuff here, not deer proof, not even deer, well, I don't know, I guess you could say it's resistant, but it's not really. They'll jump this in a heartbeat. I really don't care about it over here. I have thought about taking that 550 cord and just putting some up, and I'm telling you, I think just the one wire in that 550 and I could keep them completely out of the front yard that's over there altogether. So, in closing, what can I tell you? What I will say is, like I said, this is not deer resistant, it is deer proof. And that's just been my experience. We have not had one single deer. So, 550 cord, you can get 1,000 feet. I think it's under $80 on Amazon. All the other stuff, if you want to do it the same way I did, you can get from Gallagher Fence Supply. They have plenty of those electric fence posts, which are insulated, so you don't have to worry about those. You can just bang them in with a standard post driver. They make clips that go on those also. And then I don't think I bought those screw-in ones that go into the trees from Gallagher. I may have got those on Amazon, and it came with, like I said, an attachment for your screwdriver. Again, get a longer pole to put your 550 wire if you're out in the open or you're trying to do this around a garden. I really honestly, I don't see how you can miss. So do the peanut butter training, put up the blue paracord, do the 3-dimensional fence, and I think you're set. So I hope this works out for you. Leave a note in the comments if it doesn't. I'm interested. Thanks. We'll see you.